Hello and welcome everyone to the week ahead commodity report, where we of course will be reviewing the markets for the week ahead. How to trade commodities is now the top trending search term on Google. This of course comes as no surprise, considering that commodities are once again starting to attract a lot of attention on a scale not seen since the global financial crisis in 2008. As savvy traders rush to capitalize on the biggest and most explosive macro themes driving this commodity supercycle, from rapidly surging global inflation, the global energy shock, EV revolution, and global food crisis. A dominant theme of the current commodity supercycle that needs no introduction is rapidly surging global inflation. In the US, inflation is rising at the fastest pace in 41 years, whilst in Australia and Canada, inflation is at its highest level in 30 years. Elsewhere, in several major European economies, inflation is at an all-time high, ranging from 8.7% in Germany to 20.1% in Estonia. Meanwhile, in the UK, inflation is now running at 9%, the highest level since 1982, and still accelerating fast. Elsewhere throughout the world, many other economies, they're experiencing even greater inflationary pressure, such as Turkey, where the annual rate of inflation just hit 73.5% this month. Persistently rising inflation ultimately erodes the purchasing power of your hard-earned money over time. This simply means the same amount of money today will buy you fewer goods and services tomorrow. Also, as inflation continues to outpace the interest you earn on your savings, every day essentially you're losing money if all you're doing is stockpiling cash in a bank account. If you want to protect your income and savings and beat inflation, then it's time to act now and invest your money smartly into a high-performing asset in order to beat inflation. As traders very well know, every 1% rise in inflation, that ultimately equates to a 10% move higher in commodity prices. That's why it comes as no surprise that the entire commodity sector, ranging from the metals to the energies to soft commodities, they have firmly positioned themselves as the best performing asset class of 2022, and that trend shows no sign of slowing anytime soon. If you want to upgrade your income, then you need to upgrade your skills, and there's no better skill than trading, which is why of course how to trade commodities is now the top trending search term on Google. If you're wondering just how high inflation could get, you only have to look at what is happening across the entire commodities complex. Another day and another commodity skyrockets to record highs. That's one of the most lucrative and exciting trends of the current commodity supercycle that we find ourselves in right now. Last week, EU leaders, they announced an agreement to ban 90% of Russian crude oil imports by the end of the year, adding a further supply shock to an already undersupplied market. Simultaneously, China, the world's largest economy and biggest importer of commodities, they officially ended a 2-month lockdown on June the 1st. Both these pivotal events immediately sent oil prices rallying back above $120 a barrel. That's the highest level since March. Expectations that the oil market will see an identical V-shaped recovery in demand as seen in 2020 when China previously ended their lockdown. That event triggered a historic bull run, taking prices from sub $40 a barrel in April of 2020 to a decade high of almost $150 a barrel in April of 2022. That's a record-breaking gain of more than 450% in the last 2 years. Elsewhere in the commodity markets, another star performer last week has been copper. Copper, which is a key metal in infrastructure, electric vehicles and renewable energies, surged on Wednesday after China launched a $120 billion credit line for mega infrastructure and green energy projects to stimulate the economy. The cliche move, straight out of an old policy playbook, echoes similarities with President Biden's ambitious infrastructure spending frenzy and green energy revolution almost exactly a year ago, which played a monumental role in kickstarting the current commodity supercycle. Ultimately, China's mega infrastructure and green energy push means one thing. China is going to need more commodities and lots of them. But as we know, for the first time in decades, the world is running out of commodities at a record pace and facing a historic shortage off the back of triple deficit, low inventories, low spare capacity, and low investment. China's demand is only going to exacerbate these issues and inevitably add further fuel to the commodity supercycle as global demand continues to outstrip supply and push up prices. Looking ahead, more big moves on the horizon next week, with inflation continuing to dominate and drive the markets. The biggest macro events that traders will not want to miss out on, that includes US consumer price inflation data. That reading comes days before the next highly anticipated Federal Reserve monetary policy meeting and will determine the outcome of the Fed's upcoming rate hike decision. Also on the radar next week will be the European Central Bank's monetary policy meeting, with Eurozone inflation hitting all-time highs. Expectations are that the central bank will announce an end to its quantitative easing program and unveil a plan to begin hiking rates. As always, both these events are closely watched and have the potential to move the market significantly. Banks, hedge funds, they're making multi-billions capitalizing on the week-to-week opportunities across the commodity supercycle, and it's not so different for the retail market. The majority of our clients at the Gold and Silver Club are utilizing our proprietary research-driven trading approach. They've already made in excess of 6 and 7 figures so far this year, and we're only 6 months into the year. Here are just some of the testimonials which have been flooding in from our clients, sharing their successes and achievements. Whichever way you look at it, the case for commodities in a well-diversified portfolio has never been more obvious than it is right now. So with that, let's move over to the charts and we'll talk you through exactly what we're looking at here as we head into a new week. Firstly, moving over to energies, you can see that gasoline prices, yet again, they have broken out to all-time highs. Exactly what we discussed with you previously, to expect an uptick in energy prices from Memorial Day onwards. This is the summer driving season in the USA where you have the biggest demand for oil, and with that, we are seeing energy prices skyrocket yet again. So we've got gasoline leading the move, breaking out to all-time highs. We've also got our two positions on Brent crude oil, which are doing extremely well here into the close. We took the opportunity last week as well to scale out of more profits, banking 4,000 points profit on Brent crude oil with our clients at the Gold and Silver Club. So again, for that volume calculation, for every 1 lot contract that you would be trading, that's $40,000 of profit. For every 10 lot contract that you would be trading, that's $400,000 of profit. Now this, of course, is an immense move that we've seen on energy prices lately. So again, Brent crude oil surging to the upside on Friday. In fact, from Thursday through to Friday, we've seen almost a $9 move higher, or a 900 point breakout to the upside. We've also seen similar on WTI crude oil as well, breaking above 120 US dollars per barrel into the close. This is everything that we've expressed with you, which is to anticipate that energy prices would build momentum into June, that as you moved into the summer driving season, yet again, we would see more demand for energies. We're seeing that massive breakout to the upside for gasoline, for heating oil, and also for WTI crude oil and Brent as well. For us, the real star last week was the huge surge that we got on copper, over a 7% breakout last week. So we documented this with you, and you can go back and watch Thursday's commodity report, which actually showcases where we described exactly with you how we've been building into 6 positions on copper in order to stack the trade ready for the breakout once we see China come back from their 2-month-long lockdown. And with that, we had a slingshot move higher from Wednesday through to Thursday, over a 300-point breakout to the upside there. From a percentage point of view, 7% gain to the upside. We also fully stacked into that position. We continued to add as the price dipped lower here, making sure that we were fully able to capitalize on that significant breakout. So it's not always about whether you're right or wrong in the market, it's how much money you make when you are right in these markets. That's the most important thing. If you do have high conviction on a trade, you want to maximize it, and that's exactly what we have done here on copper. Not only having 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 trades on, 6 trades on copper, stacking this position and then banking a windfall amount of profit last week. That's worked out extremely well. And again, we talked you through this, all of the opportunities to buy once we broke back down towards the previous swing lows tested from November and December of last year, that the price action would not spend much time at all at these levels. Again, feel free to go back to all of our reports over the last month where we've talked you through our positioning here on copper. Now, moving over to the metals here. So we did see a breakout on Wednesday through to Thursday. However, following on from non-farm payroll, we have yet again dipped back towards 1,850 US dollars per ounce. What can we say about gold here? Essentially, it is a range-bound market at the moment. We're finding support back down towards the 1830 level. Again, resistance is residing around 1870 at the moment. We're ricocheting between those levels over really the last couple of weeks here. So what we need to see now is a break and close back above that 1875 level to propel the price action back towards that 1890, 1900 zone. Otherwise, we could be vulnerable to another retest back towards the 1830s, 1820s. But again, because we're in a range at the moment on metals, levels, I would perceive that as an opportunity to yet again sniper in, get in at the lower end of the range, and just capitalize on this range-bound price action that we are getting, being nimble, making sure you bank at the upper end of the range, and then come back in again when we're retesting the lower end. And it's the same here with silver as well. Each time we are dipping back down towards $21.50 per ounce or lower, we perceive that as a key area of liquidity at the moment where we've sniped in and been able to capitalize on very fast moves to the upside. Certainly over the last couple of weeks here, we've seen these impulse moves taking the price back above $22 per ounce, but yet again, very much like gold, range bound, encountering resistance at $22.45 per ounce, and support is essentially around $21.50 per ounce at the moment. Now, another market which delivered immensely for us last week was platinum. So we remain long platinum. We had a 3-day impulse move to the upside, which took platinum prices up over 850 points in 3 days here, back above $1,000 per ounce. We've discussed this with you multiple times before, that we've got the buy zone here down at $900 to $925 per ounce, multiple taps into that area of support. We remain long still on platinum from $900 per ounce. That trade is currently up 1,190 points into Friday's close. As we enter a new economic climate, the importance of having an essential income generating skill like trading, that has become a must-have necessity. If you want to actually reach your long-term financial goals in these rapidly changing markets, then you can't just stockpile cash in a savings account, because rapidly surging global inflation, that will erode your wealth and purchasing power. Instead, you need to make your money work as hard for you as you've worked hard for it. With that said, there's no surprise that commodities, they have firmly positioned themselves as one of the most exciting and liquid asset classes, which continue to present savvy traders with unlimited opportunities to generate huge profits fast. Extraordinary times, they do create extraordinary opportunities. Right now, these markets, they're a trader's paradise. Banks, hedge funds, they're making multi-billions capitalizing on the super cycle, and it's not so different for the retail market. The majority of our clients at the Gold and Silver Club, utilizing our proprietary research-driven trading approach, they've already made in excess of 6 and 7 figures so far this year, and we still have another 6 months left to go. If you've been kicking yourself for missing out on some of the biggest trading opportunities so far this year, and you still want to make 2022 your best year yet, then you still have time if you take action now. We're seeing one of the biggest wealth transfers ever in history. The time to start making money in this commodity super cycle, that is right now. One of the biggest obstacles that holds back 95% of retail traders from achieving their desired success, it's not having access to professional strategies and institutional level data and market intelligence to make confident decisions with accuracy in these highly profitable markets. If you follow the wrong strategy, or worse still, if you lack access to the right data at the right time, you'll end up wasting lots of time, money and effort and have no results to show for all of your hard work. If you want to thrive and not just survive in these highly macro-driven markets, you need to adapt and utilize a professional, research-driven approach. Having access to the right data at the right time is the single greatest difference between ordinary and extraordinary results. Trading like every other misguided retail trader out there, utilizing outdated technical analysis and gimmicky technical indicators will not work. As traders, we have a superior advantage to capitalize on every highly lucrative move fast, no matter if the markets trade up, down, or sideways. You need to know exactly when to buy, when to sell, but also, more importantly, which asset class to focus on and when. The greater your data and intelligence, the greater your edge in navigating these fast-moving markets with superior levels of precision, confidence, and profitability. We still have another 7 months left to go of this year. Never underestimate what you can achieve in the next few months from now with the right guidance and mentorship. You can always give people the right skills, knowledge, and strategies to transform their financial future. One thing you can't give them back is the time they have lost. Time is the most valuable commodity that we have. Make sure that you don't waste it. If you want us to help you to achieve the same level of wealth and success as our clients at the Gold and Silver Club, then there is an opportunity for you to join our professional mentorship program. As a member, you get access to our exclusive live trading room webinars. You get access to real-time trade ideas, access to our institutional research and market intelligence, access to our private Members Academy website, and also support and one-to-one mentoring. For more information, just go to www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. The link is also below this report in the description, so just click on the link, make an application, and we will of course get in touch with you ASAP.